Good day, champions. Gather round, please. Now, you've waited, you've wondered, and at last the moment has arrived. A moment only 4 of you can fully appreciate. What are you doing here, Miss Granger?
Oh, sorry, I'll just go.
Party, the bag.
Champions, in a circle round me. Miss Delacour, over here. Mr. Crumb. And Mr. Potter, over here. That's right. Now, Miss Delacour, if you will. The Welsh green. Mr. Crumb. The Chinese fireball. Ooh. The Swedish short snout. Which leaves...
The Horntail.
What's that, boy?
Nothing.
The Hungarian Horntail. These represent 4 very real dragons, each of which has been given a golden egg to protect. Your objective is simple. Collect the egg. This you must do, for each egg contains a clue without which you cannot hope to proceed to the next task. Any questions?
3 of our champions have now faced their dragons, and so each one of them will proceed to the next task. And now our 4th and final contestant.
Hey there, LEGO fans and Potterheads. I'm the lawyer in the LEGO Shed, and this is the 44th in a series of videos I'll be making as I build my way through the magical world of LEGO Harry Potter. I've been collecting the Harry Potter LEGO line since it started back in 2001 with the release of the very first movie, and for this video series I'll be building sets that have been part of the more recent waves of Harry Potter LEGO, beginning in 2018 and stopping with the 2023 releases. The plan is to go in movie order, and so without further ado, let's get started. Today we're looking at set number 75946, Hungarian Horntail Triwizard Challenge. This set depicts the scene where Harry must face down a dragon, obtain a golden egg, and do it all as part of the first task of the Triwizard tournament. Released in 2019, this set has 265 pieces and a total of 4 minifigures, all of which are unique to this set. For some historical context, this is actually the second time this scene has been depicted in LEGO form. The first time was in 2005 with the release of 4767, Harry and the Hungarian Horntail. This set would actually end up becoming one of the most desirable of those early Harry Potter LEGO waves, mainly due to this beautiful thing. An incredible molded Horntail. I am fortunate enough to still have the one that I had as a kid. And on its own, the Horntail actually goes for about $100 on Bricklink. Prior to the new waves of Harry Potter Lego, this set was the only way that you could get a hold of Mad-Eye Moody as well. He was another minifig that came along with it. Had a wonderful play feature where Harry was able to grab the golden egg while flying with the clever use of some magnets. So it was a really spectacular set. It's also worth mentioning that LEGO has released another set dedicated to this scene in 2022. This is 76046, and it depicts an elaborately brick-built Horntail with a flapping wing function that's used in other animal-focused sets that have been part of those more recent waves. Because this set is more of a sculpture rather than a playset, I'm not going to be covering it as part of the review series for this video portion, but it is definitely worth acknowledging. So let's actually just jump into the set itself, now that we've got some historical context out of the way. There's 2 main parts of the set. The first is the tent, and then a brick-built Hungarian Horntail with her nest. Starting with the tent itself, its design is fairly simple. So nice standard tan with a little bit of detailing on the sides here to make it look like we've got a tent opening, as well as this kind of architectural design here. It then opens up to reveal a little area where people can sleep, a little chest of drawers, as well as a little table with some cups. And then hidden in there, you can see these Hogwarts, Durmstrang, and Beauxbaton's house crests that are on the wall. So some great sticker choices, but kind of a little small piece here as far as our main set is concerned. Now let's move on to the Horntail herself. Here we can see that she's got her wings that can adjust. Interestingly, they're the exact same wings, just different coloring as the one from the Horntail that I showed you, the molded one from the past version. But they can articulate, they can be in any position. Her claws can also be in just about any position, which is really nice. Her legs are a little more limited in their movement, but they can bend out, and they can also move backward and forward. So they can't move completely like a ball and socket, but they do have quite a bit of movement to them. We also have, through a ball and socket joint series here, a lot of movement that you can get with that tail. And you can even articulate the same along the head and neck. So a lot of posability. And then I'll just show you here some great printing on the head. And then, of course, this little jaw here. I think the head is all very reminiscent, and if not exactly a copy of some of the Jurassic Park dragon mouths and heads that we see. But overall, as far as posability is concerned, when we take a look at the two side by side, we definitely have a very different situation, right? This guy, very static, non-posable, whereas this one, we can do so much more with her. She's got a lot more going on, and a lot more things that can happen. So definitely one of the perks of that newer version that we've got here. Okay. What I loved about this set is the choice to include the tent. That was unexpected and I think arguably unnecessary, but it was nice. It had some interesting shaping and a fun little interior there. It was also good to see that the school crests were represented again. They were actually represented in the form of printed tiles back in 4767. So definitely nice to see a nod here again. I also thought that the minifigs were exceptional in this set, and we'll talk about them in just a bit. Things that I didn't love, if I'm being honest, there's a lot. We'll start with the tent. This is way too small. You can't, when it's closed up, you can fit like one person in here, let alone the massive group that we end up having in the tent itself. And so I would have preferred, if we were going to go for this, at least double in size this thing, or don't include it at all. And instead go for the stands, which is what the old version had done. So it was kind of an odd decision to me to not do something a little more reasonable. I also was not a fan of this decision to only do sticker versions. The printed tiles that came with the older set were so much more enjoyable and then repurposable. Here, they are locked into what the tent is and cannot be used anywhere else. So that piece was rather annoying. Then moving on to the Horntail herself, which I just realized we didn't take a look at her nest. It is worth noting that the nest is not really a whole lot, but that golden egg is spectacular. We've got some nice chrome look to it. It's like a muted chrome, I guess. It's not quite as shiny, or a matte chrome, I should say. But looks like an actual egg instead of the ball that we saw in the original version, 4767. So yes, much better job with the egg, but definitely not enough to really save the Horntail herself. I mean, just really obvious joints visible everywhere, not a lot of great shaping really at any point. The kind of lazy decision here to just repurpose a dragon or a dinosaur head, even with the printing on it, it is very lackluster. And then, yeah, I think overall it just looks so chunky, especially, when you compare it like I did a little bit earlier to this beautiful, fully molded piece. Well, I understand it doesn't have the ability to have as many things going on as far as the actual horns down the back. For me, this was far more preferable, especially when you look at that incredible detailing up there. When you compare the two, there's just really, they're not even in the same league. So for me, it was a misstep to go with this brick-built version in many respects. But yeah, shaping, part usage, other than the ability to position the whole thing, it was just disappointing to see such a backslide after 14 years and not see us moving forward with it. But then again, as we've learned, there's a lot of challenges with brick-built animals in this wave, so guess it does seem par for the course a little bit. Okay, now that we're through all of that, let's move on to the minifigs, which were all unique to the set, and I think pretty great. We're going to start first with our first Hogwarts champion. This is Cedric Diggory. He looks great with his floppy hair and his handsome face, which has two different expressions. I'll just show quickly here. He's got kind of a little winning smile and then a serious, or a worried smile and then a great little serious face here. The torso printing looks wonderful with the partially open front so that we can see his Hufflepuff yellow. And then on the back, we even see his name printed in red under the hood. There's even printing on his legs to show that the cloak is open. Just a really wonderful figure overall, and a great representation for our first Hogwarts champion. Next, let's talk about Fleur Delacour. She's our Beauxbatons champion. She also has some great hair pulled up into a ponytail, and then her face looks wonderful as well. Fits her on-screen version. Her torso printing is incredible. Tons of detail crammed into there. Really just a beautiful crest on the back as well. So just a really full, beautifully done minifigure, I think, and really captures the way that she looks in the scene itself. Moving on to our Durmstrang champion, we have Victor Crumb here. He, again, great printing on his torso. The thing that's a little bit off with Crumb is his face is not 100% perfect, though I will say this version is maybe okay. He's just not, I'll show you this version. He doesn't have that little glower that he has. So this was kind of a repurposed head, I think, from some other versions of other, flesh tone folks. And then the hair in particular. He's got a buzz cut in the show. And this is probably the tightest cropped hair that LEGO's got available, but it does not fit the right tone or tenor of this particular style. So aside from that, though, everything else about it looks great. His hoodie combo here, the printing to see the little shirt peeking out underneath, and then check out the hood on the back with the Durmstrang crest again. A lot of great attention to detail, super, super fun. So I think that the two of them end up looking great, even though Crumb's face and hair combo could be a little bit better. Then, last but not least, we got our fourth champion. This is Mr. Potter himself. He's got the hair that is iconic to the fourth movie. Looks accurate, great face as always. And then we've got a very similar setup to Cedric's cloak, though noticeably, Harry's has got these sleeves here, the colored sleeves, whereas Cedric has got just black sleeves. They're not yellow. Interestingly, when you watch the show, I'll show some pictures here, they are supposed to have sleeves that are colored with their houses, but they're just supposed to be short. So kind of an odd decision to not just fully commit one way or the other and just give two different versions. But, you know, kind of a minor point. Otherwise, we can see the great printing for the laced front of the hoodie, and then we've got the Potter printing on the back, very similar to Cedric's as well. You'll notice I have the wrong broom for Harry. I'll show over a picture of the one that he's supposed to have. I just preferred this broom, and so that's the one that he got. But yeah, as far as that goes, that rounds out our minifigs there. So for my overall impression on this one, I would say that this one was one of the more disappointing ones out of this wave. While the minifigs were lovely, and it's great to get all four of them in one set, just about every other aspect of this set is let down. Larger tent was definitely necessary, and getting a molded dragon would have been absolutely wonderful. It really would have elevated this set as well, but aside from that, I think that those shortcomings kind of make it a bit lackluster unless you're chasing the figures themselves. And that is it for 75946. If you are interested in following along on this journey with me, please feel free to follow the account. And if there's anything else that you think I should be covering in these reviews, feel free to drop a comment and let me know. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.